This may be
who has a knowledge beyond which you cannot gain the knowledge. This is the ultimate knowledge. So that
ultimate knowledge. Okay.
Ultimate knowledge. It may be Arhat knowledge. It may not be Savenyuta because it has ability to destroy darkness or illusion.
Yes.
So Arhat only Arhat can destroy darkness or illusion. No Savenyuta.
Actually, Sarvajna should be the higher than Arhat, no?
Yeah.
Yes, Savenyuta is higher than Arhata.
So this should be Sarvajnata.
Yes, Sarvajnata. Yeah. But it
I don't think Savenyuta can destroy the darkness. It's just show the way to the people or like that.
No, only Arhat can destroy the filaments.
Okay, so Sarvajna doesn't do the duty of removing the destroying the darkness. Sarvajna keeps knowledge for himself.
Yeah, maybe Savenyuta is the extra reward for the Buddha.
Okay.
Maybe here is the person who become to Arahant. He have a knowledge like this knowledge and destroy the darkness.
Yes, like darkness or illusion.
Yes.
Moha.
And what is the difference between Arhat and Tathagata?
So many differences, teacher.
Here he said, attain the highest truthly by no effort.
Exactly.
And the last one is in the word, not only a part of the word, it's the whole word. So I think this is not normal, it's also very higher.
Actually, that's why, because he has attained the highest truth with strenuous efforts. That's why I feel like interpreting Jnanamaya as Sarvajna. But if the distinction between Sarvajna and Arhanship, then you can interpret as Arhan.
Maybe.
But Jnanamayo hi Surya. I mean, basically this metaphor of sun is used because he is going to destroy the darkness. And so the one who has earned or who has gained this knowledge, he becomes like the sun who is going to brighten the world with the knowledge.
Okay. And from the 80 to 86, is it talking about his son going to find the really true Dharma? And at the time when the king hears that, the king is very unhappy and he is very sad. But Asati said to the king, don't worry about your son. And whatever the king and when because your son going to find the really truth, and then the king was unhappy and he returned his mind. He puts disappear a sadness, and he broke by himself about his clever son. Whatever, the king was really not happy because his son was left from his family and go to the forest. Whatever the Asita consoled him, he was not happy because his son was left from their family, and going to the forest. That's it. To talk about that one from the 80 to 86. And then you can see 83 having had the king with his queen and his friend abundant sorrow, with joy and thinking, so and so on.
in the verse 82,
Yeah.
We can see the regret of Asita.
Yes.
Yes, it's like a Devila story.
Okay.
82.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here he said, "Since I have not heard his law." His law means his the teaching.
His Dhamma, his Dhamma.
Exactly.
When Siddhartha became the Buddha at the time, Asita was in the Brahmin ring. Yeah, he could not hear. He could not hear the Dhamma. So he regret for that.
Yes. And this is very important reference that he, because for many centuries after that, the sacrifice was performing sacrifices was related to attaining the heaven. But technically, philosophically, attaining heaven is not the ultimate aim of the life. So this thought was already established by that time. But so here this mention of heaven as a misfortune is very important, because even if you go to heaven, it's again a kind of you are in the cycle of birth and death. So you have to reach beyond the heaven. You have to think of not going to heaven, but you have to think of destroying the cycle of birth. So calling heaven is a misfortune is very important reference in this verse. And that's why means, because it again reflects to the kind of a ritualistic approach of the society, that you perform certain rituals because then you attain some comfortable birth, you attain some punya, that's it. But beyond that, in the philosophy, you have to destroy your punya also, that otherwise you cannot reach to the ultimate enlightenment. So there should be balance between punya and papa, then only you can really reach to the enlightenment. It should reach to the 0-0 count. 0 punya, 0 papa. Then only you can attain the enlightenment. Means what I see, that it is again it's very Buddhist philosophy is one of the aspects which emphasizes that you shouldn't be focusing on the ritualistic nature of ritualistic nature, but you have to think beyond that. This emphasis of Buddhism is reflecting through this statement. Because I don't know if you are aware of that, but the existence of Buddhist philosophy was it's a kind of a intellectual attack towards the sacrificial society, because people were performing so many sacrifices to attain prosperity or better birth or accumulating punya, good deeds, etc. So you have to break this cycle, because this is not the ultimate aim of the life. So this was a kind of a counter attack to that particular thought, and that's why attaining heaven is considered as misfortune, because otherwise you cannot break this cycle of greed, because it's a kind of a greed to attain something better than what you have. So better, if you want that greed, then you should be aiming at enlightenment, not the rituals.
Teacher, from the in this chapter, from the beginning until the 66, the Siddhartha was not born yet. They just talking, they just predicting about the Siddhartha. That's it, right or not?
No. He took the birth. Because if you remember, in first 20 verses or so, that he came forth to the queen. He took the birth painlessly. We have that reference, no? He just appeared in the world, and then
just appear in the world.
Yeah, so he appeared in the world, means he didn't take birth as a normal being from the womb of the mother, but he just appeared in the world and to remove the darkness. And that's why when he appeared, then the people even the gods started welcoming him with the blossoming flowers and showering mandara flowers, etc. So he has already taken a birth, and he talked about the aim of his birth. And that's why the Sir Asita is, because this prediction that he will not be a common king of the Shakya clan, but he will be a very different, he will renounce. All this information is based on the horoscope, which you create on the basis of the birth time and when the child comes in the world, that the planet situation and all. So that on the basis of that only he is going to predict all these future life of the Buddha, and this in a way consoling his parents that you should not expect him to behave as a normal person, because he is a divine child.
Okay.
Look, even when the 10 days were fulfilled after his son's birth, so he has already taken a birth.
Yeah, after 10 days, when his son birth, and the king himself give to the Brahma and for his son welfare, then corn of food of milk, and all kinds of the thing in the Kapila wood. Auspicious, they make an auspicious ceremony.
Yes.
And the queen also worship to the god for the good of fortune.
Yeah.
And the good fortune of the park of the king, the prince. All the Kapila city was full of the Latinate and like the city of the lost.
Yes.
The welfare in the Kapila, and the Kapila Wuttu, the city of Kapila Wuttu is very good because he had a son, and the king of son, the son of king and born in the Kapila Wuttu.
Teacher, okay. In the part 88, we saw the sacrifice to the gods.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of sacrifice maybe at the time?
The soup, okay. There are and offered his sacrifice to the gods. Actually, these sacrifices you can. This means it's a very basic. It's not a let's call. Have you heard of Ashwamedha or something like that, where some sacrifices were made to won the whole world, but Shakyas were the only ruler of the earth, so there was no need of doing that a sacrifice. So here it's just to please different deities like fire, rain or water, etc. Then they perform very basic offerings of different fruits or stuff like that. And also some one sacrifice is done which is called काय म्हणतात त्याला? It's sometimes the particular sacrifices made to for example according to the nakshatra of the birth of that child. So he was born on the Pushya nakshatra, so something related to that they perform the sacrifice. I'm not expert in sacrifice, I don't know all the sacrifices, but what I know that one of the sacrifices is made when you on the 10th day, just to satisfy, just to remove all the misfortune of the child and make him protect him with the blessings of different deities. So it's a kind of a common prayer for protection. And one sacrifice is made to name which is called naming ceremony of the child.
Yes. Namakarana.
Yeah, Namakarana. Yeah, these two particularly are performed.
So it cannot be killing beings, including animals?
Not necessary. Not every sacrifice involves the killing animals.
Yeah.
Some sacrifices were just you offer milk, or sometimes offering butter, clarified butter means ghee, which is called in ghee.
Yes.
And sometimes you just offer some kind of plant sticks, dried, which is called samidha.
So it could be just donation or obligation.
Yeah, or you donate cows in this particular. So one which is related to the protection. Then you donate cows to the Brahmins.
Donate to the god. Like in Myanmar we call Yit Puso. Huh?
Yeah.
Yit Puso.
Because donation is considered as the highest punya, so you earn so much protection like that.
And Richard, the last one, yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah. This is Narakuwara is the 90.
Which 94.
94. The last word,
Muditam abhut nalakuvara prasutau.
And Narakuwara is who is Narakuwara?
This is a god for good fortune of the birth of the kings and that citizen of Kapila.
It's one or two.
But that's it. Yeah. At the birth of his son Narakuwara. I don't understand that word.
Wait a second. I also have to check because
it is used for simile.
And the city?
I think it's a name.
Simile.
Nalakubara, huh?
Yeah.
It's a name of a son of Kubera. So Kubera is the god of all the prosperity. He never lacks any prosperity.
Yes.
And his son is called Nalakubara. And so he the city of the Kapila city was like a city of Kubera, and the birth of the Buddha, a king's son, was celebrated as if the birth of Nalakubar. I can't hear you, Venerable. Uttama.
You mute.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So this change of birth to war is also, it's a really regional affection. Means in if you go to the West India, means West Bengal or some like that, or Odisha, then you will hear "wa" instead of "ba." So this is the they cannot pronounce "ba." They will say "wa." Okay, so in a way we have finished. What is this bhava here in the verse 93?
It is another name of Shiva. Shiva.
Yeah, it's a name of Shiva, but also he's it's a name of Shiva.
Yeah, and one name of Shiva and one place at the front of Karatekeya, also like the Kuruvara, Narakuruvara.
Yeah, Kartikeya was a son of Shiva and Parvati.
Oh.
But he is also like he appeared with the meditation power of Shiva and Parvati. He is not a person. He is not someone who born from the womb of a woman. Similarly, like Buddha, who appeared in this world. Similarly, Kartikeya appeared in the world or heaven. Actually, Shiva doesn't live in the heaven. Shiva lives in the Kailasha, according to the mythology.
How many names does Shiva have?
Oh.
Many?
There is at least 1,000 names.
Oh, 1,000.
But,
is it not?
No, Shiva has 1,000 names. Vishnu has 1,000 names. Parvati has 1,000 names, because they are all adjectives, and they share, all these names are shared by all these deities, because they are protector. They survive the people. They give fortune to the people, etc. So all these are epithets based on their characteristics, based on their how pleasant they are. So some things changed with Vishnu and Shiva, because Shiva is a deity of destruction. So his some epithets are mostly like he's the one who gives knowledge. He's the one who gives the enlightenment, or he destroys the birth cycle. But in some way they are related to Vishnu also, because even Vishnu is called as who gives you the moksha or the enlightenment, nirvana.
So they can represent many things.
I would say all these. So Shiva or Bhava is okay. Calling but most of these epithets are shared by all the gods. So they are not particularly given to one god. They are mostly shared by different gods like Shiva, Vishnu, Durga, Ganesha. Because these are praise offered towards the deity. So they shared most of the qualities. So even if you see the one text called the Amara Kosha, the Buddha is the name, one of the names included in the. I will show you.
If Shiva has a more than 1,000 name, it has than the Buddha name, because
even a Buddha is has an will be similarly interpreted.
I think the Buddha name is just a 36. Here,
see here, I don't know if you can remember the Devanagari, but Sarvajnaha Sugataha Buddhaha Dharmarajas Tathagataha Samantra Bhadro Bhagavan Marajit Lokajit Jinaha. All these Shadabhidnyaha Dashabalaha Advayavadi Vinayakaha. So Vinayaka is one of the name of Ganesha, but it is given to the Buddha here, or it is included in the synonyms of Buddhas. Munindraha Shakya Munihi Sa Shakya Simhaha Sarvartha Siddhaha Shaudhodani. Shaudhodani means the son of Shuddhodana. Gautama, Siddhartha Gautama. So Gautamascha Bandhuscha, Maya Devi Suttascha Saha. All these names which are included in the names of Vishnu, Krishna, Shiva. So Buddha is everyone for us in technically. He is Vishnu, he is Shiva. They are related, I mean to say.
Yes.
So these are in. At some point, when you start distinguishing between different names, then you call it as name of Buddha. But etymologically, what is Buddha? Buddha means who is enlightened. So Sarvajna is applicable to Shiva also. Sarvajna is applicable to Vishnu also. But if you want to restrict, then culturally, then we restrict it to the Bhagavan Buddha, means the great enlightened Gautama. So this I read this. I read a paper on this one word called Marajit in 2020 conference celebrated in the as an anniversary of our Venerable the Rector Sayadaw. That was related to Pali. So this Marajit, the word Marajit or Maraji comes in Abhidhana Padipika. You know the Abhidhana Padipika?
Yes, we know it.
So Abhidhana Padipika includes the word Maraji, and obviously it is very a Buddhist term, Mara. And Marajit, in all the Sanskrit text and commentaries is interpreted from the Buddhist point of view, that who has won over the Mara. But technically, Mara is also included in the name of deity called Kamadeva. Is one of the, I don't know how to. A god of love, or god of a kind of who is very related to the worldly pleasures. and who won over this god is called Marajit. This Marajit is also should be interpreted in the point of view of Shankara also, means Shiva. But no commentary relates it with Shankara. They only relate it with the Buddha. So this was my topic of the comparison, and how means this is the case of meaning restriction, we call it. Or meaning expansion, meaning. The meaning of the word Marajit was restricted to only as Marajit equals to Buddha. But no one interpreted that Marajit equals to Shankara also. So this is a kind of cultural impact on this word, which kind of limited the meaning of this word in the literature. And I was this was a very philological paper, so that was a kind of little different than whole theme. Means the paper were presented in the Pali conference. And first time I read in Pali, and when it started question answer, I cannot speak Pali so fluently, so I mixed English, I mixed Sanskrit. That was a kind of funny experience for me. Okay, so this is how we finished the birth of the Buddha, and he is holy, I would say holy one. So technically it is if you can distribute these 94 verses into the preparation of the for the birth of holy one, means everything was miserable, and to cure that misery he came to the world. So, and the description of the place where he took birth means the Kapila Vastu, how it was beautiful, how it was pure, and how the people were satisfied, but they were still they had a thirst of knowing the wisdom. So all this is called, I will say, preparation to establish the key point. That the key point is the purpose of the birth of Buddha. And the last verses or from 60 after the taking birth of Buddha is we will call it in from the point of view of literary theory or aesthetics. It is called the bija, means the seed of the whole poem. That the purpose of Buddha, birth of Buddha, is how it is explained among the last verses. Is actually it's called bija, means the seed, because now onwards the poem will focus on this point of view of birth of Buddha, and will avoid the other means how progressively the birth of Buddha is aiming towards the renunciation, and then the teachings of the Buddha. So even though he was in the palace, how he didn't enjoy that particular comfortable life, and how he was kind of unattached to this life. All this type of information we will find. So have you read the second chapter?
No, we haven't, teacher.
Not yet, teacher.
Okay. See, the first verse itself is kind of in a relation to the what we have seen from the first chapter, that from the time of the birth of that son of his, who the true master of himself was, to end all the birth and old age, the king increased day by day in wealth, elephants, horses, and friends, as the river increases with its influx of water. So basically, even though Buddha represents the Buddha was himself a true master, means his purpose of his birth to renounce, to preach the enlightenment, and he be unattached to the material world. Still, the king was started in growing his prosperity, growing his wealth, all sorts of wealth. Means not only from the point of view of crops or farms, but also from the point of view of elephants, which is important from the point of view of wars or being stronger to your enemies. Horses, again. And also you need more friends. Friends means you can rule more calmly, quietly in the world. So in this way, his enemies were growing less, or they were destroyed, and his friends in the kingdom were increased. So in this way, slowly or day by day, the situation of the world was becoming better and better. And once the world is quiet, the society is quiet, you can establish or you can enlighten people effectively, because they are not agitated. So this is the first step of, towards the establishing the teachings of Buddha. So first thing what happened, that the impact of the birth of Buddha was calming down the society, calming down the worldly situation, which we need today also. So we need one more Buddha today. So he, in this way, elephants from Himalaya. So I think as Venerable Uttama did, like grouping the 10 verses and coming up with some abstract or essence, and then discussing some particular points from here and there in the verses. This is how we should proceed, because otherwise we cannot read even more in one class. The next time, you should I'm going to divide 10 verses each person. So next time, Venerable Sukhita Narendra, you should read first 10 verses and brief it. Hello?
Hello. Yeah.
Is he there? Venerable Narendra?
I think his connection is not good. No? Yet we will tell him.
Then Venerable Dhammadasi should read from 11 to 20.
Yes, teacher.
Jnanavati Sayale.
Yes,
21 to 30.
21 to 30. Yes, teacher.
Then Venerable Shobhita, 31 to 40. And Venerable
Okay, teacher. 31 to 40. Okay.
41 to 50.
Thank you, teacher.
And you have to come up with some particular, whatever the important words, important character,
Yeah.
like the Sir Asita we discussed today.
Yeah.
These kinds of points. And if there is nothing, then you try to prepare a little bit more so that we can go faster.
Yeah.
Next week is teacher. Next week is reading week.
I know. Oh, great. But you have things to write, so I will not increase your pressure because you have to prepare also the coursework essay. So take it easy. 10 verses each person. But please be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see in the next week. Next week.
Yeah. Tomorrow we have to submit our essay to the Dr. Alex.
I hope it went well. By the way, what I was if you have any question about essay, if you want any kind of guidance, feel free to ask.
Yes, thank you
Contact
so
me
much, teacher.
anytime. If you want any personal time to meet, means individual time. So we can plan like that.
Yeah.
Because this is the last week of the holiday of our son, so we are kind of aiming towards quietness. He will go to school finally.
Oh. 50, 65.
Okay, so then we stop here by chanting.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tetatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tetatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tetatu.
Thank you so much.
Take care and enjoy the reading week.
You too.
You too.